supposedly more necessary. I don't like driving cones in my marathon vehicle. I don't think so, but Kathy's got anything in her bag. But then,
But you got a sandwich in your hand.
I do. But you know what? I also don't think you're the smartest. Sharp attack in the pack.
No.
I think she's making a hole, doesn't know where that is. And she's the only child now. Her wife is gone. She died about the same day as Annie. I think she needs a friend. Mine doesn't. My little one doesn't want a friend. She's happy being Una. She always thought she liked Monkey. And she didn't know why Monkey got so much attention. She didn't understand what it was to be Monkey. Yeah.
I got a cat from the Humane Society that I dearly love. It's right up there with the cats that I like the most. But Paul's cat doesn't like me.
One thing I've come to realize, if I can't get it at the walk, there's no sense in trying.
That's right.
And it's just, I mean, after,
Do it to walk till you got it. Donna Albert Crooks would live in one of those great big old Pennsylvania Dutch farmhouses. And they have Lily, who's been a house cat for 1,000,000 years. 3 years ago at Black Prom, a young cat came out of the bush indicating she needed a home. She had big catcher's mitts, a rather large one because she was pregnant. I could move in with them. So they sort of didn't let her, but she moved in anyway. Eventually they took her to the clinic and she had her kittens and they kept the kittens. And she became their cat. And she goes home to Pennsylvania every spring. They live near a road and she's a wild Florida bush cat. And so they keep her in the house. That worked well. So it's the only time she's out is when she's in Florida. But she and this Lily cat live in this huge. What's that?
it's light enough to go through sideways.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Bash yourself. These two cats live in a small good house. Well, somehow they managed to meet regularly and they hate each other.
Oh, no. Well, that's,
It was always Lily's house.
yeah.
And Tony, her name's Tony because of her toes. Tony's been with them all winter, so she assumes she's numero uno. When she gets back to Pennsylvania, that damn Lily's still there.
That's a problem. Betsy doesn't want Oliver anywhere near. She picked on him. He's starting to. Yesterday he jumped off the couch on him.
Oh, that's not easy.
Well, and then she turned around and took after him and jumped on his back and flattened him to the floor and bopped him on the head.
Monkey tolerates Sheba very well, but if she perceives she was out of order, Sheba loves to get on her back, so she'd growl and jump at her. She'd lie on her back and not stand.
Tony loves to drive cones, and he knows what the game is. He knows if
He
you're
learned
pointing,
it in the middle of cones.
he knows if you're pointing at his head or not.
She'd stand on her to deck her and growl at her. Even the day before she died, she got her down twice and beat her up. Doesn't hurt her, she just yells at her. We've always had very good balance.
I like to drive him.
That was a nice transition. If you wait, I'll give you the last bite.
I think somebody else likes to drive cones too.
Who's that? You?
Oh,
That's all. Wasn't sure the whole hand wasn't going in. She's very soft-mouthed, actually, like a retriever, but I put my hand down there, wasn't sure it was coming back. You get out of my life. Get off my cloud. Thank you. That's a lunch worth working for.
it's Calvin. I know you think he likes it. He thinks all horses like the captain's.
I don't think they care.
I think it's even in sneezing fits because it's
You know what a Micklem bridle is? It's a riding bridle, and made by an Irishman, sold by Rambo. The cheek comes down, kind of angles forward to get away from the tooth area. There's a ring, and the bit hangs off the strap there. So the bit's very free. There's an upper noseband, and then it goes down, and there's a lower noseband that's sort of built like a drop noseband. This whole area where the teeth go is no pressure.
Huh.
And what a difference it makes. Because Indy was sort of naturally puffy in that spot. He's got big teeth. They stick out. And there's a riding bridle. So I had winkers added to it. I had a pair of Smucker winkers I wasn't using. And he took the stays and made a buckle-up top for them, put on the winkers, and he held them on with a couple of big, smooth, flat pieces of soft leather so it didn't rub it. And then underneath those pieces of leather, so you can change it when you want to, are 3 Chicago screws so you can raise it and lower it for any size head. Boy, they go fat well in it. Like the nose bend, it's a little floppy, the above and below. It works out really well. Let the flesh figure out I have food. Yeah, that nose bend is low as well as floppy. And that way it's not getting on his soft nostrils much. I think of the mischiefs I could get into if I had this building in my own yard, but A, I can't afford it, and B, I don't have a flat spot. But it's such a nice shape because it's 80 wide.
We're trying to figure out how we can at least work outside.
Yeah, well, we do that. We can pretty much count on snow, and then the solution to that is that we put a logging chain either behind the sleigh or behind the carriage, attached to each side, so it's a big loop, and it rolls the snow down. Hey, very good. It keeps it from getting crusty, and it flattens it so it's not too deep. That works really well. It didn't slow you down at all. Well, that's how we keep ours usable.
Will you explain that to Paul? Because we were trying to figure out how to do that.
Yep,
On
it
the
works
way
really
down,
well.
when we were driving down and talking about how we could.
The only problem we ever have, if we get enough rain so it makes a lake, then it needs to snow again. Yeah. But it takes care of the snow at any depth. And if it's going to snow a lot, we just go out and knock it down between.
Okay, so now you're gonna give him to me?
No, he doesn't have them quite tuned enough.
He said he's starting to get nervous, so he's gonna give him to me.
He's getting nervous,
He does, and that's when he starts to do the head bob.
and that's tension.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so.
Thanks.
She got him tuned for you.
I don't know.
I found another one of these British-made ones the other day. A gal showed up at a lesson with it. It had been in somebody's barn for 25 years untouched.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Got it out, dusted it off. Wilson changed a couple bolts, and off she went. The wooden part of the seat had died, so they rebuilt that. But it's just such an amazing carriage.
And Donna kind of wanted to buy this one, and
Who did?
Donna.
Trieber.
Trieber.
Yeah.
She drove her pair on it
Well, yeah, she drove
Yeah.
in lessons.
at lessons,
And loved it.
yeah.
It's a comfortable.
I'm sorry not to see her this week. I guess she's just eaten up by her shop.
Oh, really?
Well, no help. I haven't seen her since the
She didn't go to.
didn't go to camp. I don't think I saw her. I must have seen her in July when I was here.
Yeah,
Sally and I were just talking about keeping the footing in winter. We have a logging chain, and we attach it either to the ends of both runners or to the outside of the axle of the carriage, so it makes a big loop behind it. And as you go along, it just keeps knocking it down, knocking it down, knocking it down, and grading it. So we can use our ring all winter. And it keeps it
you
from
put
getting
it on the sleigh?
on the sleigh
back
or
of
the carriage.
Okay.
You know, if there's not much, so I put it in the carriage or the sleigh, from runner to runner, so it makes a loop behind it. And it just, as it bumps along, it kind of rolls itself, and it knocks the snow down, so it levels it, so it's not too deep, and it keeps it broken up so it doesn't get too crusty. And unless we
Oh,
get,
okay.
unless we get so much rain that it turns into a lake, then we have to wait for more snow. We can use it all winter. And the bottom, you know what the bottom of my ring is, it's a sand pile.
Thing is, we'll get snow, and yeah, you guys probably do too. You get up in the morning and there's a foot out there. And the problem with where we live, there's a foot, and then 6 inches over, it's bare grass.
Yeah.
Because it's drifted into a pile.
We don't, well, you know where I live, there isn't any wind.
Right.
Hurricane doesn't change anything in my house. Yeah, so you'd have to find a way to knock it, well, it will sometimes, like the right rear corner of my ring, remember it has the big hemlocks hanging over it. So it never gets a lot of good snow. So we drag, and we take the thing, we run up over it this way, and we run up over it that way from the other side. And it will drag some of the snow onto it for us. Or Wilson will shovel some onto it, and we level it with a chain. We really do get to drive all winter that way. Of course, now it's not such a long battle, because we leave January 30th, but we still get, like we did 4 sleigh functions last year. We did 2 days of combined test, 2 days of pleasure sleigh, and a bunch of group lessons and games at our house in the snow.
Well, I bought a little cutter to fit him. But I don't have a set of shafts for it yet, so I gotta make
We
something,
can make those.
you know.
I
Well,
almost
that's,
thought,
we usually,
I almost thought this was Bambi for a minute.
You what?
that's not Bambi's pony, it's their
Another-
pony.
Yeah,
It's their pony, Raffy.
yeah. Well, now that I look closer, it looked different,
It's
but
a much better built pony.
yeah, when I glanced in, I said, wow, I wonder what Bambi's
It's not,
doing.
Bambi's built downhill, this is not. Is he Welsh Cobb or Welsh?
Very cute.
He's a Cobb?
Yeah,
You see Cobb?
yes.
Yeah. He's very cute, isn't he?
Yeah, he is very
Yeah.
cute.
I like,
You drive them cones.
we gotta get Sally warmed up first. That's what he wants. You don't have to do it just because he said so.
He moves very
I
easy.
mean, we love him, but he's dangerous, so you don't have to do it. Doesn't he move well?
Yes.
He's got just enough bounce, just enough reach. To me, he looks like a short horse.
He's
I-
really better. His frame is a lot better. His
Frame has
contact
changed
with-
hugely.
Contact with the bit is so much
He's,
better.
he's over his neck from the withers now. You know, the nose came in as a plus, but he comes over the bridle from the withers. It's been a while, he's gotta be 12 by now, hasn't he?
No, no,
Nope.
no. Are they 9?
Are they 9 now?
8 or 9? Tim,
Oh, honey. No,
He's what?
12, she said.
That's what I said. She's talking to 2 deaf people.
Yeah.
I said he's gotta be 12 by now, and Paul said no.
Paul has his work concept, none of us are getting older.
Well, yeah, but we're all a little older. Trouble is, when you talk to Paul and me, you're talking to 2 deaf people. I probably should get you a headset. I still got mine on. Is there one over there by you?
I do not see one.
Jada had it last. It's probably in Jadaville.
Did not bring ours.
I'll go hunt for it. I think it's over in Jadaville somewhere.
Or where?
Oh, just in Jada's area out here.
Oh.
Looks nice. Yeah. Huh? Yeah.
He doesn't need to be doing combs this whole time.
No.
What should we work on? What do you think?
Okay. Just calorie reduction. That's what it is. Headset?
Didn't somebody have it this morning for lessons? Yeah, headset's a nice idea.
Yeah. That's all right.
Hi there, buddy. Has he figured it out yet? That one? That he's in here?
I don't think so, or maybe he has, but he's
Like, he's looking real hard,
behaving.
but he's not doing anything about it.
Robin,
Yeah.
it was nice to meet you.
Nice to
Thank
meet
you
you.
for all
Thank you
your
for the
help.
word. Nice to meet you. I hope to see you again.
I hope so too.
Bring that nice horse back.
Do you do your son's lessons?
I do.
See, I should have brought my sister.
Yep, I do ridden dressage and driven dressage. Laura's gonna text her. I don't know where they went. I'll just have to yell at you. Sometimes Jada reminds me of a hen turkey. They can't keep track of anything. So he's really going nicely, Sally. Neck is open, the profile's good, the gaits are good. He looks ready for anything.
She says, I think I put it on the bench.
What's that?
She says, I think I put it on the bench.
Okay.
Or maybe on the table. Okay.
Where's the table? Oh, the little table out
Yeah.
there?
Here.
Oh,
Got it?
Yep.
Cleverly camouflaged. You can always tell when Jada's had it because it's always rolled up really neatly.
yeah, but we found it.
Thank you so much, Laura.
You're welcome.
I get a chance to yell at Sally how much I'll be able to.
Yeah, now I can't pretend I didn't hear you. No, I'm not.
You are a wonderful pony, you know that?
I can leave this on. They always. I couldn't believe we forgot ours. We were down the road.
Mine's turned on, and I'm on talk. So you need to turn yours on, see if I'm going to blow you out of the water with my big mouth, and put yours on talk. Good. Man, we have technology.
Yeah, I can put it in this and then zip it.
Yeah, they're better in a pocket, although all summer mine hangs off the front of my polo shirt. This one old gal I teach in Florida has a huge chest, and she's always got on a V-neck shirt. Halfway through the lesson, she goes, "Oh my God, I'm on display." Yeah, I'll talk a little because I'll probably blow you out of the carriage otherwise. I forget that I have it on, and I get yelling.
I know, I always go, don't yell at me.
Yeah, but you don't realize it because we spend all our lives yelling at each other because we're all deaf.
But then I can turn it down.
One of the neat uses we have when Jenny and I ride together. Did you meet Jenny Kimberly? I don't know if you, yeah, I think you did. When we go out hacking together, we wear them so we can talk to each other because we're both too deaf to yell that far. And there's an old couple, one of the bunch I teach in Vancouver. They're both mid-80s, and they drive a pair of big, heavy Canadians. When they hit the ground, clonk, 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 clonk. They have a huge, big old metal van and Hoover carriage, and they never could hear each other. So they bought them for lessons, and now when they go through the country, she's in the back and he's in the front, they can just talk to each other quietly. Because the whole conversation consisted of, what? Does it do bad things? Mine doesn't like to do what? I need to get a new one. I bet I've been wearing the same one 10 years, and I had it on when I rolled over last year. Didn't get any grass stains on it, but I can't believe it didn't hit the ground somehow.
Well, I keep lending mine to people and then it comes back.
Oh, whoppajawed.
Yeah.
Mine's so big it would drown most people's heads.
False navigators wear it a lot.
We have some vests like that. I have a short standard bed vest because I like them because you don't sit on the tail. Then I have another one, and Wilson has another Tipperary, so we always loaning vests, and they come back the weighted shapes. He is a bit fat.
What's that?
She said he's not fit, he's fat. He is a bit fat, but that's Cobb. But you're not gonna kill him rattling around here for a while. The footing's good, the carriage is light. He gets a little warm, he gets a little winded, he'll grow back. And just living out in your field is gonna keep a guy somewhat fit. Yeah, you had so much rain, you had too much grass.
That's the thing, they were getting,
And still have their guts healthy. Because this year in Florida, we'd been feeding hay from Ontario that was sufficiently not too sweet, or not too heavy, I guess. And that wasn't what they were selling in Florida this year. We found a Mexican that had really attractive looking stem hay from I don't remember where, that was delicious, I guess. And the buggers got fat on it. You know, they're in full work, they're competing every weekend, and they got fat. And you can't take their hay away, but they don't have any grass. And you can't take all their hay away. It's like, and I've never had trouble with horses getting fat down there. They get fat a little bit on coastal Bermuda, but I don't feed that stuff because it tends to cause impaction. But this had to have been a relatively high sugar hay because they all got, even TJ got fat. TJ doesn't get fat, he only gets pot-bellied. This carriage fits this little guy nicely too.
it does.
The whole thing's just a nice package. Looks like a British turnout.
I've got a road cart that I made for him. But, yeah. I think it's a little bit narrow. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, sometimes it happens.
The shafts are narrow.
The shafts on my Phaeton were a little bit narrow. We actually, when I bought it, we turned them around because they were wider turned around. But it's still a little narrow. TJ's got a pretty good pot belly in his old age. And the other horse is, he's only 15 too. And he's a narrow type, but he's still a big frame. And I think he feels a little crowded. Happily being a four-wheel, it travels with him, so he doesn't mind, but it would be way too narrow for her. And their everyday road cart's a little narrow. So they've really had to learn to engage their legs instead of turn the bodies.
Road cart I made for the other Welsh pony that's a lot, he's a B.
Yes.
So he's a lot narrower.
That's why this one looks like a horse. Because he's got that long shoulder, a nice hip, and he's just kind of horsey proportions. He's pony height, but he's horsey looking, and he's horsey going. So when you come to the corner, remind him with the outside rein not to get quicker. There you go, and you get a bend right away. So the outside rein is a secret to bend. Just support a little with the outside rein. Come. And then you can use the inside rein. And don't haul on the outside rein, but take back a bit for support, and then give as you come out of the corner, and he should stay straight. I can tell he's a little fussy if he thinks you're going to jiggle his mouth. Oh, Dad. So it has to be very smooth and within whatever contact you already had. He doesn't want the rein to go and then grab. That's a good boy.
He starts to get a little racy and kind of choppy, falls apart.
Yep.
You need to kind of set him back
And then soften
and
it.
then let him out again. Kind of, see, there's a nice speed.
Yeah, that's good. And what you had to do was say back off, back off, back off, back off. He needs to get very settled in this trot, not anymore. And the thing about this trot is, and this is a Morgan problem and a Welsh pony problem, their front feet get away from their hind feet when they hurry, and then they can't engage. So they got to slow down. Yeah, let the hind feet catch up. Try to have your rein connection, stay at connection, not making loops. I think he's making the loops, but I think you need to try to keep the connection. Don't try so hard to be light that you end up with a feathery rein, because that's like a bad cell phone connection. You're going to want to yell at somebody. I think he can carry a little more weight of rein. He's only in a full cheek snaffle. That's it. And then you can allow a quarter of an inch out or take a quarter of an inch Quarter of an inch doesn't usually offend anybody. There, good. Now he's connected, eh? One of the things, you know, when you drove Taz, his connection was so unbelievably light, but it was always there. You didn't have to find it. This pony a little bit can adjust his neck and lose the connection, so you have to kind of stalk him with your hand. Go out and find him, take back for a little more connection. If he says it too much, give back 1/8 of an inch. Good boy, trot, trot. But it can't stay anywhere, because then he'll say, hey, you're forcing me onto the bit. Good lad. Trot, trot. There we go, good. So it's going to have to be a little more positive connection than the Tazmobile was, but not too much. That's good, lad. Let's change direction. It's really a game where you go fishing and you catch this little fish, then you try to keep him into your line, but not have him bust it or suck back behind it. I said that to Jeff Morse one day. I said, you kind of have to go fishing. He said, well, sometimes I get there and somebody goes fish the pond out. I never thought of that. There, good. And when you think it's good and you want to soften, instead of moving your hand, just drop your shoulders. Yeah, good. So you can soften by dropping your shoulders and not lose your connection. That's a good man. That's a nice push from behind.
Yeah, he does. The other thing I found that works well when he starts to get a little fidgety like that is he'll do a nice stretch trot.
So let him stretch and relax.
If you ask him to bring his head down and let him have
Yep.
that.
Well, you know, and that's one of the things they do lose when they lose fitness is the body carriage strength. And so he carries a little while and then he goes, that's hard work. But then you can do the stretch. Careful, lad. You can do the stretch, get him comfortable again, and then go back to work, even when he's not fit. And even the really experienced ones, TJ will lose his body carriage a little bit if he gets too much thrown off, and then I just take time to put it back on.
It's like he's afraid to put his head down, but once he figures out...
It worries him to put his head down, but just then coming by E, he put it down, and the step got longer, and everything went elastic. Good boy.
Even if there's nice.
Yeah, it's lovely. It's lovely.
A little high, but...
Well, but here it comes back down. Good boy. That's it, careful. Good boy. He has such a range of motion. Imagine what he'd be if you had time for him every day.
Yeah. Somebody, and I feel guilty for weight, you know, to do marathon.
Oh, for him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'd love to have a
Yes.
high school girl.
A small person and a second small person could have a ball with him.
Yeah.
He's a big pony.
I mean, I
But
drove
just-
in Kansas City,
Yeah.
you know.
Kansas City, the one that has the hill with that Oklahoma. Yeah. Good boy. And I don't mind that he's a little catchy with it, a little rough with it, because he's out of practice in that respect. But there, he's lovely. Good boy. And I think, saying to Paul, I think his body carriage muscles get tired from being not used. Not that he can't catch his breath and keep up with the work, but they a little bit lose their body carriage muscles when they don't use them. And so then we give him a stretch, and that way we can continue to work, and he's not getting worn out. So see if you can stop him, but not pick up his head. Just use your voice. Walk. Good boy. Yeah. We'll let him walk and stretch a minute.
That's the other thing I've done with Apollo recently is I get him into a lengthened walk with his head down and good contact. And I ask for the trot at that time.
Yeah.
And man,
Can you do it now?
Can I get a beautiful stretch trot?
I bet you got a grand
We've
trot.
already got that frame.
You've already got you've got the openness across the back.
Yeah.
He's let go of the neck and he's opened his back.
Just in the
I think the
last-
stretch is totally underrated. I do a lot of canter, and then when I'm done with the canter, like I'll do 5 minutes of circles and things like that, then I do a 5-minute trot stretch. And I get some of the best trot, because the canter's loosened up the back, and then he can really stretch. But I think the stretch is grossly underused. I came home from the 50-mile New Jersey one year by bad planning, chiropractor came the next day, and he was working on the horse. He said, "What did you say you just did with this horse?" I said, "He took an 8-hour trailer trip to New Jersey. He did 2 25-mile days, and he took an 8-hour trailer trip home." And he said, "So why does he not have a care in the world on a stop line?" And I said, "The only thing I can think of is I stretch him 5 minutes of every hour." He said, "Well, it obviously worked because there's nothing on top of this horse that is uncomfortable."
I mean, Sally's driven in a couple of times this year, and she's done so much to get him to relax, and,
Well, that's the thing that I see that changed in him,
yeah.
is the relaxation. I remember you used to always worry you couldn't get his gates opened up enough, but with the relaxation, they've opened. And I think until you have the relaxation, you can chase the rear end forward all day, but until they can give the back and drop the neck, it doesn't ever get to forward. It gets lost in the mess somewhere. He's also a nice length of back. It's short looking, but it's strong enough. He seems less worried about everything. It's kind of like, yeah, okay, I can cope.
And she's been driving him quite a bit out across the creek and out in the woods, and
That's what
when
they
she does
need.
take him out, yeah, it's just hacking.
Just go somewhere, do something, deal with up and down and roundabout and the bunnies in the bushes and the foxes in the woods and the birds in the trees.
That chestnut pony has the habit of backing up when he's not happy. Well,
That would scare me.
I drove him into the creek, and he didn't want to go, but he thought about it and decided he'd try it. So he went off a bank that was about 8
6
inches
inch.
high.
Oh, gee.
Well, then he got down there and he was close to the creek, and he thought, well, maybe I don't want to do this, so he backed up, and guess what?
He didn't get very far. And you said, thank God for the little bank. Pony got his money. And I bet he gave up and went because he did it to himself. Didn't even hold it against you. That's the kind of thing you pray for. So let's put the little guy back together. I'm not worried we're going to hurt him. He's carrying himself so nicely. He's moving so well. He should just whisper, wait, good boy. You picked him up. He had a moment that he's quick, and then he went on, never mind. Good boy. Good boy. That was nice. Remember to keep yourself sitting back? Only because when you get forward, it makes tension in your arms. You need a board. You need a 2x there. A 2-inch or 3-inch board so you have a place to put your feet.
Is that too long for your legs?
It's too long for your legs, yeah.
Oh, I can move that back, but, I mean,
Move what back?
the floorboard.
The trash can lid. Wilson has it's sort of like the carriage machine, Phaeton, except it's a runabout instead. And he actually put a 2-inch board in it. Because even though he was short and the Amishman made it for the short Amishman, it still doesn't fit Wilson. But when you have the right board in there, you really fit. All right,
That's
let's trot.
floorboard.
Because if you can keep your leg right, then you can keep your body upright. And if you roll your body over, your arms get tight. And the little blighters, TJ, I'll go along somewhere, he'll start doing this, fussing with the end of his face. And I finally figured out what his problem was. I was bracing with my thigh. So if I took the brace onto my heels and stopped using my thigh, he said, okay, thank you, and back onto the bit. If I'd forget and get back in my thighs, he'd whine. This is nice. Isn't that pleasant? So I don't care if he gets a little itchy or edgy or fussy about the bit. He had a little tired spell. We worked him out of it. By stretching him, you got rid of any feeling of tightness or crampiness. And your elbow's really mobile right now. I like it. Good. You come to the corner, just think, take back a little on the outside rein. Just increase it and then allow. Yeah. And that way it takes the effort to go into the corner. Good boy. All you do is just take back a little from the elbow on the outside rein, and you make beautiful corners. And it's not bothering you. If you took both reins and went messing around all over town, you'd say, yeah, she's making a mess. But just take this is where the outside rein is so useful, but you can't hold it and lock it. It's got to come back and allow. Come back. It's only a 1/4 of an inch. And then the trot stays open. The neck stays open. The pony looks like a happy little wind-up toy. Boy.
I think he could do a pretty good test today.
Oh, he's really in the bridle today. I love it. Make a left, go across the ring, make a right. Same thing, don't forget your outside rein. Straighten, straighten. Get your outside rein. The minute you take the outside rein, he bends and turns. So someone's done a good job here. Because most people don't even know that. Well, Paul might have learned it by now. He's heard it enough. But most people, I talk about it their whole life and they don't get it. Every time you take the outside rein, this thing bends. It's wonderful. Good boy. Come. A little more. Yeah, just a little. You just think it. Good boy. He's very dressage tested today. And the pony used to worry he didn't have enough time between strides. And
Yeah.
it's gone. He's got all the openness and time in the stride now. And loose, this is the same thing the red horse has, this wonderful looseness. I'm sure I can see why Lisa was drooling over that red horse. So somewhere let's make a right and then a left. So make a turn. Now you're done with the turn, straighten. Very good. Straight, position, new turn. Good boy. The head came up a tiny bit. So maybe, I don't know, maybe you kept your outside rein one moment too long. But again, I wouldn't charge you much in a dressage test. But there was a little moment where he went, huh? Well, you probably needed to give your outside rein a moment sooner. Make a half circle down there. The thing I like about the give thing is, keep turning. You can go there. That's good. You're never going to lose anything by giving. You can always take it back. You deal in quarter-inch increments, which is a very small space. So you can give a quarter of an inch, and if he doesn't need her to use it, take it back. And it's ready to give again. Come on, laddie. Touch. That's a good boy. No, he's all right. Make a half circle down there. You can go through that pair of cones if you want to. Or you can make it shorter.
The other thing in his defense, he's got this nose thing.
It gets a nose itch.
Well, no, he's got a nasal passage.
Does he drain
No, he's got a swollen or a lump on
on his face?
yeah.
Ah,
And, but it never seems to affect his wind.
No.
Always wondered.
and I don't hear it at all. Make a half circle without going through the cones. Make it small. So just turn. Bring your elbow back. Very nice. No hesitation. He went around like a wind-up toy. Isn't this rhythm fabulous? It goes and goes, and you really got the connection with a elasticy thing, which I like a lot. So make the smaller half circle there without using the cones. It's little bitty, but just do it. Turn. And one of the things about turning, most people, as I'm watching, they start the turn, and then they act like the horse is going to take over and finish it. No. The rule of thumb is when you stop turning, the horse stops turning. So if you want to make a turn, and make a little bitty turn, and just keep asking. Ask. Very good. And he intended to make the whole turn. But if you'd stopped anywhere, he kind of would have pedaled in the air and gone, what? So you have to drive every step of the turn you want to make. I see people start out around a 30-meter circle, and I go, uh-oh, nobody's steering. And the horse makes a flat place. Because by rights, they should flatten. So go all the way to the end and make a little bitty half circle. Don't pass the flags. Turn, give. Very good, your right elbow. He said, I heard you, lady. You can have another walk. Walk, buddy. Now. Good boy. So when you're turning, you did it really well there. Your right arm just kept quietly taking, and he did what he's trained to do, which was follow the hand as long as it asked. He didn't get upset. He didn't change rhythm. He didn't come out of the bridle. He just followed the rein around. And that's how it's supposed to happen. That's what he's supposed to get for a message, is just keep turning. And so many times I see people turn and they stop turning. And then they, why do you hit that? I said, because you forgot to turn him. They're very literal. They do what you say, which is nice. But you got to keep saying if you, hello, got to keep saying if you want to keep happening.
Looking for something?
Or coffee cup. I should have known that was yours, but I forgot from yesterday that it was yours. Or has it been home and come back? No?
It's been here all the time.
Shows how much I look.
My God.
So I let him walk because he was really good, and he was a little bit ready for another break. But he's not complaining. If this pony was in my yard, it'd be hard for me not to drive. But no matter what I had to do, I somehow would find time to work it.
He's on the other side. He's just like her.
Doesn't he remind you of your pony?
I said, he's even got the white.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's the same rhythmic, steady, nice, fancy pony. When they came in and I thought, wow, that looks like a slightly different version of one I've been looking at.
Yeah.
Yep. And mine has two little socks back there.
Oh, okay.
Vivian Cree said to me, it's not fair, he wins because he's pretty. I said, pretty helps. Pretty driven badly won't help, but pretty does help. And mine's got the little star thing. He's got a 7 on his face. She doesn't drive anymore. She judges once in a blue room. She's around, you know Vivian, she's around being Vivian. But she doesn't drive anymore. She's a black German Shepherd she does a lot of agility stuff with. And I don't know what else. She's got her kids pretty much raised. One's married. The other two are still hooligans on the universe. And I don't know what, she went through a spell where she was making fancy herbal scented hand creams and knitting. And I'm not sure what she does. Now, they don't have to work. Even though she was always crying poor. They don't have to work.
Right on.
You need something to write on?
Here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, those will work. I use those for everything. When I go through the airports, they always think I've got a gun case with me.
Yeah.
One time, you know what the batteries look like? The little tiny 4 skinny ones with the tail hanging out. They were sure I had little bombs. No, I got a lot of things for that.
We were in
Then
Montana recently. There's lots of gun stores.
When I came home from Nebraska twice this last spring, going to Dave Arrington's wife.
Yeah,
And our daughter make those wonderful natural e-cookies, which 2 of us at home use. So I always take them home with me when I go. Well, then they wanted to know what kind of ammo I had stacked up in my bag. I got them out, and I really didn't want to unwrap them because they're so well packaged. Well, they went back and forth through the x-ray. They had to go get a supervisor because they were sure, and I showed them the contents label. They were sure I was carrying around something poisonous. Christina came one time with a small bucket of cool calories, and I thought it was cocaine.
Well, I bet they see it all the time.
I'm sure they do, and we're just the innocent ones.
Yep. Well, he looks really relaxed and free. I
He's
mean,
very content with his day.
yeah.
So let's put him back together. I just love what he, and well, Clara too. She's got, I remember the first time we hitched her to the wall here and went to hitch her, and she was like, oh my God, I'm going to hate this. And I knew Dave broke her. I knew she was fine. But she didn't know yet. And she was new to Kay, and I was like, I'm in love with this pony. Come on, little, there, good boy. He's such a lovely shape without being crammed in any way. And trot, trot. Remember to keep your rein connection. You're still trying a little bit to drive Taz and a little bit to treat him with kid gloves that he doesn't need. He wants you to very politely shake hands with his mouth. He has all the motion you ever wanted in the rear end now, Paul.
All right.
He is special.
So he's a morning, right?
No, so,
Oh, really?
He's a particularly nice Welsh Cob. He doesn't have the screws a lot of them have.
kind of a borderline between C and D.
Yeah. He's not quite big enough for a D, but he's D-type.
I don't know.
I like the Ds.
He's
This is nice, huh? Feel the connection in your rein? It doesn't feel heavy, does it? But it's connected. You're not doing the on-off thing. And he's like, oh my God, she found me.
Definitely my outside.
That's good. That's where you want him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where you want him. You would like him in both hands, but a little tending toward the outside. Yep, absolutely. And with this level of connection, you have even a bigger stride without getting quick. It's just power. There you go.
I mean, he is so under himself.
He's engaging hugely. If you look at his footprints as he goes by, each front foot is perfectly landing in, each hind foot, perfectly landing in the front foot step. I had one the other day I was watching go. And from the far side of the ring, I thought, my God, that thing's it was the walking. I thought, my God, he's tracking up beautifully. He got to me. He was just barely making it into the front footprint. And I've yet to figure out why. Because it was this huge thing sweeping from behind, and it never got past the front footprint. I couldn't figure out what he was up to. So let's have slow trot.
He came from Florida, he was, buy one, you gotta take this one too.
He was the come to,
Yeah,
and he came with the red one.
Really?
Yeah.
You came with a polo?
no, he came with a B-well.
Oh.
Hi, Dina. He came with a very nice chestnut pony, but this is the better of the two, I think.
I don't know. Sally's been driving.
Yeah, well, he's beautiful. Does he go as well as this one now? Yeah. Oh, that's good. This is nice.
Neither
Come
one
on,
of
come.
them are shy or anything.
Yeah, they don't do dumb. Slow trot. As long as it keeps trotting, as far as I'm concerned, there's no such thing as too slow. Because all of it, like he moves his hind legs so well underneath him, and now at slow trot is so much hock activity. The nice thing is he's black and he's shiny, so you can really see the stifle move. Good boy. That was him asking if perchance you cared to walk.
Yeah.
Good. So this is the connection I love. It's not feathery. You don't look like you're wondering where your pony is. He's got you, you got him, everybody's happy. And he can go to your hand, and when he's a little bit tired, he can lean on you, which is okay, he's allowed. He can go to your hand and then use his body. Let's make a STOP. Oop, oop, oop. Very good. Park your low butt. Keep the connection and trot. This isn't easy. You keep it. Very good. Because I can see what you wanted to do. Just drop it. Good boy. And the two legs are actually moving together, but boy, the white one shows more. That's why I like having two white ones, because it shows the whole rear end also. Good boy. Working. Don't lose the rein, just push him out into it. Good boy. I know your back's getting tired. So you want to do some cones? All right. I didn't know if you wanted to play that game or not. Good. Well, welcome to Iowa in the fall. At least it's not the same allergens I have at home right now. I'm allergic to oak. And I'm so sick of oak pollen or whatever it is, oak is bothering me. Good, smooth. You didn't have a good hold, that's absolutely true. Try not to drop your reins, because then he gets a little untrusting. Good boy. Very smooth. Your connection is so good, you can just pass him from hand to hand. Steady. Good. Very well done. That's what bend is for, eh? Ooh, lovey. That's a good boy. So you also have to be able to straighten. And once they get bending and turning, they forget what straighten is. That's a good boy. Smooth. I don't either, but you can go there. Good job. Gotta love the way this carriage turns.
He just looks so alert.
He's very show me, show me, show me. That's why you gotta watch those doggone oxers, because one piece or the other's gonna get you. There, good boy. He's very, very attentive, isn't he?
Yep.
Like if you think left, he already did it. And then he goes, well, aren't you with me? Good boy.
And he's, I've taught him the words, come and go, or
Yeah.
come and get.
Yeah, come and get whatever you want. Be a little careful with your whip aid that it's just a bump and not a slap, because he gets a little bit like Kayobunga away. Good boy. I don't know if he's got his tongue over the bit. He's doing something funny.
No, he just
He just talks to himself?
Yeah,
Yeah, there you got the oxer well.
he's getting a little bit,
Feel him stretch? That was nice, and just drive the stretch. Yeah, that's okay. That's okay, it was good. And you can drive that stretch. And he might be beginning to get a little tired, but he's being very good. I figure we let him have fun at the end. Good boy. Good boy. Yeah, he's better let out, isn't he? Yeah. Like I say, when in doubt, let out the rein. It almost always helps. Turn your head. That's it. Because your head and neck are only mentally attached to the shoulders. You can turn your head and not mess with his face. Good. Yeah, you got room to pass yourself. Good. I like puzzles like this that have lots of room, and then suddenly they come up short, and you just drive them anyway. Good boy. Yeah, good lad. So you're keeping your rein connection much better. When you go to turn, allow a quarter of an inch in the outside rein. Because then when you want to straighten, you just take it back. And he's like, I got you, lady. Very nice. Good boy. Just be careful with the turning whip that you don't surprise him. Because then he goes, ay, ay. A couple times a little too firmly. That's possible. That's why I don't ever train with a lash except when I have to. I have to drive a lash in my phaeton, and I don't love it. I can't reach the horse without it. I have to drive with a 180 whip with a lash on it. Because it belongs. Good fellow. So now he's settled, huh? He got a little quick, and now he's like, all right, you fool, I'm with you. Very good. So just use the stick part and just push him around. Very good. Because I got that. You get smoother, and he gets smoother.
he wants to canter.
I can see that. Good boy. Well, canter's easy for it.
It is.
When your rear end works like that, canter comes easy and fun. Good boy. The head, I think, is just the back getting tired. He's being very good. And you're being very good with your head. He follows your eyes really well. Good job. He's also straightening better. You notice now when you straighten, he doesn't over straighten. That particular ox is cockeyed. Room for a coat of paint. But that's all she needs. One of my old instructors used to say, a miss is as good as a mile, but for Christ's sake, miss. Good boy. Ooh. There you go. Good handwriting. I like it. You kept your connection. You kept something he could play with. And he got smoother and smoother. He went get a little worried once, and then he just settled. I don't know how long he's been going. Oh, probably almost enough. Absolutely. No, just around. I'd love it. But we know he knows how. Yep. No, this is a nice space to canter too, because it's wider than most. I canter a lot. I spent the winter schooling 40-meter circles, so that's what I had. Canter. He says, I'm not quite with you, but ask again. But this is 80 feet wide, so it's a good piece better than the average canter situation. If led. Canter. There you go. I think maybe good canter comes with Welsh pony. Because Kaylee's section A canters beautifully. Good. Too much? Or not elastic enough? Because it loops it. Paul says a little less rein. Needs to go a little freer. Less rein. There you go. I don't think he's going anywhere. Now he's free to move his neck. He likes it better. He's also tired.
Yeah, he's tired.
I think he's tired. A great canter. Do a little bit the other way. Yeah, he does have a tongue over the bit. I thought he did. I think he's got a tongue over the bit. Is that a mullen mouth?
It is. You'll get tired of that.
I guess. Well, it just came out the side.
Act like it, doesn't feel like it, but maybe it is.
Maybe just stuck it out for fun.
He could have
It just came flying out the side of his head.
Hey, I'm looking in there. Yeah, it's over there.
But as Paul says, he'll get tired of it and put it back.
He might.
That's my choice.
Wants to wear it like that.
I don't fix it for them anymore. You want to run with your tongue hanging out, go ahead. They don't do it too many times when you have that attitude. You fix it? The beauty of the Mullen Mouse, you pick it up and they'll fix it.
That's what I did, I
Yeah.
just pulled it out.
Pick it up and they fix
a
it.
little bit.
I thought he got it. It was being very good, but I thought I saw it. Good. I thought I saw it come out in the middle of the cones. But one of the things that they can do in the Mullen. This pony's a very well kept secret. He's so beautifully trained and he goes so beautifully. He even canters. Funny how they get over that one quickly. Canter. He said you got to school this one a little more, Sally.
He says, yeah.
And he's tired.
We gotta practice.
Yeah, but he is good at it. He needs a long rein, see if he can
I
fix his
think
tongue
you're
again.
trying to canter and he wants to gallop,
That
Yeah.
could be.
Well, I bet he could gallop.
because that's what I do with him when I let him go.
Just let him roll.
Because I don't know how to train.
Well, they have to roll forward in order to get the jump in it. So people say, when I start people kind of go, well, he's not collected. I say, you can't get collected without working at it. Mine now can canter quite collected, but I've been bothering with canter for almost a year. I have so much space to train in Florida, I take advantage of it. Good boy, Raph. What a fun toy.
Who's in next?
Huh?
Who's up next?
I don't know who's next. Are you next, Tina?
I am. Oh,
I don't know where all your jumps have gone.
what?
Where have all your jumps gone?
They're outside. But I'm riding a different horse today.
What's that?
I'm riding a different horse today, so I don't.
What are
need
you
jumps.
riding?
My quarter horse.
Oh, I haven't met that one.
Nope.
Oh, good. New toy.
Yeah.
Well, Rafi can walk as long as he wishes.
Got something for you to sign.
Okay.
I went to a show today. Did you know that?
You did, yes.
Yeah, so at the bottom, there's a thing for the judge to sign.
I will